Stand by for Bwana.org radio. In 3, 2, 1. Cue the announcer.
You found Bwana.org radio, your one source for tech news and reviews. Now, almost live from sunny Florida, here's your host, Bwana McCall.
Greetings, folks, and welcome to episode 245 of Bwana.org radio. We got a great show lined up for you. Giant show today, guys. Giant show. 17 bookmarks, and it's been a lot of tech news, a lot of good stuff going on this past weekend and the days surrounding it. It's just been a lot. Today, I'm just gonna jump right in. Today, Apple released new MacBook Pros. I'm not going to talk about that during the show, but Apple released new MacBook Pros, Core i5, Core i7 models. A little speed bump on the 13-inch models. Pretty impressive looking machines. Of course, they have the Apple price tag on them, but we don't want to get into that little bit of an argument. But there's new hardware from Apple on top of the iPad, on top of the Apple iPhone OS 4.0 stuff. A lot of stuff coming out of Apple's camp. But we're not going to be talking a whole lot about Apple tonight. I mean, we got stuff spread out all over the place here on Bwana.org radio. Now, I want you to check out my other channel while I'm talking about content. Check out Bwana.tv. I've recorded a series of videos on Monday, and they're probably going to be posted throughout the week. I've already posted 2. The first was a Justin.tv iPhone app review, and the second one was a pretty cool walkthrough of a Left 4 Dead map, Left 4 Dead 2 map. I think you guys will enjoy if you play Left 4 Dead 2. So check it out. You can go to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/iobuffer, or you can just go to Bwana.tv and check it out. Well, we got a giant show lined up for you for episode 245 of Bwana.org radio.
It's time for Bwana.org radio's tech news for this week.
And for our first story, we're going to talk about the PS3. The PlayStation 3. This has been making a huge comeback this year and last year. Everybody thought Sony was on the ropes. Everybody thought they were dead. You know, Nintendo had won, and 360 was still pumping strong, and the PS3 was in dead last. And it's been a pretty nifty comeback. And this next story didn't really surprise me, but I think it's going to surprise a lot of you out there. And it basically states that right now, the highest percentage of connected consoles, these are consoles, gaming consoles that are connected to the internets, the highest percentage of those come from the PlayStation 3. And, you know, like I said, it's something that I wasn't surprised, you know, because I knew that the PlayStation 3 came equipped with a wireless adapter on launch. It came equipped with built-in Ethernet on launch, and the online services were free of charge. So there was less of a barrier to entry for these consoles, and a lot of people, truthfully, bought the PS3 to serve as a Blu-ray player. And in order to get firmware updates to support, you know, Blu-ray Live and all these different Blu-ray, I think it's BD Live, to support that stuff, they had to connect it to the internet. So not only was a connected gaming console, it was also a connected entertainment device. And I'm not going to knock the 360 and the Wii, because, you know, they also have some good networking features. I think the 360 more so than the Wii, but it didn't surprise me that the PS3 came out on number 1. Now, the numbers were pretty close. According to this article, the PS3 had 78%, and the 360 had 73%. Let's see. Let me make sure I get this right. And the Wii had 54% of their users connected to the internet. Now, this is within their user base, so that's why the numbers don't add up to 100%. So you can basically say half of the Wii users are connected to the internet, and 3/4, a little less than 3/4 for the 360, and a little more than 3/4 for the PS3. So congratulations to Sony. This is another feather they can put in their hat and say our users are more connected than your users. It's not a big number, but I think it's worth mentioning because a lot of people don't realize the the usefulness of a PS3 until they actually use one. And early in the console wars, I always told people you really got to use a PS3 before you can bash it. That way you'll know exactly what to complain about. I know what I want to complain about, but I just don't make up stuff because I actually have one. Check it out. This is over on GamerSutra.com. They got the details over there. Next story, we're going to continue on the PS3 topic, but not on the console itself. We're going to talk about one of its more popular games, and that game was Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain was a critically acclaimed title from the Sony studios. I don't think it was Sony who actually did this. Quantic Dream, I'm sorry. And it's it was definitely an interesting title, and I definitely saw I really didn't see the potential of it until I played the demo. Because I heard about it, I'd seen gameplay, and even if you watch people play it on JTV, you're not going to really know until you play it yourself. But they sold 1 million copies. Congratulations to the Heavy Rain. 1 million copies worldwide. And if you've got a PS3, rent this title if you don't want to buy it, or buy it. I think you'll enjoy it. It's not as boring as it may seem. Some people watch on JTV and other outlets and like, oh, it looks boring. Do you get to shoot people? Can you move? Can you control them there? You know, all these different things, because it looks like you're watching a movie, but in essence, you are being a part of it, and your decisions do matter. I mean, there's a ton of endings with this game, and I think it's very popular for a reason. It's something refreshing. It's not necessarily brand new, but it's refreshing to a gaming scene that's seen way too many first-person shooters, and when you can come up with a game like this, very, very cool. 1 million copies, Heavy Rain. Congratulations, sold. This was over on joystick.com. Check out the details over there. Now, we're going to get into some juicy topics, and this is one of the videos I actually recorded on Buana.tv. I'm not going to elaborate too much here, but it has to do with Infinity Ward and Activision. Infinity Ward and Activision. Check it out. I'm just going to sum it up briefly. The former heads of Infinity Ward, you guys may remember, they were fired by Activision. Well, now they've turned around and they've formed a brand new studio. Guess what the name of the studio is? Now, when you get shot and killed in COD 4, Call of Duty 4, even Modern Warfare 2, or even back in the days of Doom, when you got killed, you didn't worry about it because you had another guy. And that was called Respawn. They named the company Respawn Entertainment, and I thought that was brilliant. I thought it was so brilliant to come up with that name because they were canned, they were fired, and they formed Respawn Entertainment. So they formed Respawn Entertainment, and then they signed with EA. You know, it sounds a lot like Brutal Legend and that whole fiasco. So I'm not going to get into many details, but, you know, Infinity Ward, Activision are in court right now. They're battling over who did what, and it's just a mess. But it's good to see that those guys have started their own studio. They've signed with EA, and apparently it's making waves in the industry, not just with recruitment and talent, recruitment and people looking for jobs, but people who probably were looking to sign deals with Activision, they're probably thinking twice now. Like, man, Activision, you guys, you got a pretty bad track record when you buy up these studios, and then all of a sudden you don't pay royalties, and then all of a sudden you know, they're suing you. The only common denominator is you, Activision. Might want to check that out. This was over on multiplayer.mtv.com. They got the details. Now, in the related story, the Exodus continues. The Exodus continues, my friends. 3 more people have been confirmed to have left Infinity Ward. The company really, on paper, if you look at future endeavors, the only thing that I see that they're working on are bug fixes, patches, and DLC for the existing game. Oh man, it's not a whole lot to be excited about if you worked in Infinity Ward. I mean, your bosses were fired, some head people have left. You know, some designers and some writers have left. And, morale, contrary to what Mr. Robert Bowling has said, morale's got to be pretty low. Morale's got to be very, very low. It's just ridiculously low. And for them to say it's not low, I'm sorry, it is. It's got to be. I've been a part of companies where a lot of key people have left in the past, and you can't help but wonder, man, what are we gonna do from here? What's gonna happen now? And you're not really motivated to work. So these guys, programmer John Shiring, senior animator Bruce Ferris, had independently confirmed that they were leaving Infinity Ward. One guy's going to Big Red Button Entertainment, and Shiring's not providing any information. I have a feeling he's going to Respawn Entertainment. Lead designer Mackie McCandish has also confirmed via Twitter that he's leaving the studio after a great 8+ year run. He's been with the company a long, long time. Guys, I think it's safe to say that Infinity Ward is crumbling. Have any of you guys heard of any new hires? Because that's about 7 people gone. And it's not just 7 nobodies, it's 7 key people. Might be more than 7. I lost count. I mean, it's getting kind of sad over there. You can't really blame them. I mean, this whole deal just came out of nowhere, it seems like, and it's leaving them with nothing. I guarantee these guys in Infinity Ward, these smaller studios, they make money based on royalties. They get paid nickels and dimes, normally. They don't have a big salary. They rely on these huge payouts of these of the royalties, and Activision's not paying the royalties. They're probably not getting paid. If I wasn't getting paid and it looked like the company's suing to not pay me, why stick around? Just think about that. I mean, you really got to think about it from that perspective. I mean, why would you stay with Infinity Ward? All right, check it out. That's over on joystick.com. They got the details, they got links, and they got all kinds of cool stuff over there. Now we're going to shift gears a little bit over to the real-time strategy arena. And this is the PC gaming arena. I've talked a lot of times on my stream, on Buana.tv, about the merits of PC gaming, the merits of console gaming. Console gaming is now synonymous with first-person shooters, where in the past it was the PC. And real-time strategy / MMORPG is synonymous with PC gaming. In Korea, there is one title that stands out above anything. The name of that title is called Starcraft. It's a national sport. You can consider Starcraft to be like the Major League Baseball or the NFL in the United States. We have these big sports over here. Starcraft is just that big over in Korea. Huge over in Korea. That's why this story was interesting to me, because there's apparently a huge cheating scandal with some top people. This guy named Savior, Jae May Yoon, one of the best known and most successful players of all times. Apparently, some folks have been fixing matches with large bets. Say that so. Oh my gosh. And there's a lot of money being traded with these games. Like I said, guys, this is a national sport. If you can imagine, if you live in the United States like I do, and you can imagine all the bets that are made on Major League Baseball and all the bets that are made in NFL and the NBA and these big sports and the NHL, all these big sports, just imagine those sports having a huge scandal with people fixing games. That is the equivalence here. That's how huge it is in StarCraft. And I don't see StarCraft slowing down in Korea, but this is huge. Apparently, the people are holding names back, but this guy is one of the biggest ones that his name has come up. It all started several years ago, according to Korea's sources, in 2006. And basically, betting sites started to contact players about rigging their matches, and it just went downhill from there. And there's a lot of money involved. I can foresee, a gamer coming up. He's like, "Oh, I can just do this, and I'll make enough to live a lifetime. I don't care." They're not really. Some of these guys may not be grounded enough to say no. Big story. Big story, guys. Check it out. That's over on GamePron.com. They got the details over there. Starcraft cheating scandal rocks Korea. Check it out, guys.
You're listening to Bawana.org Radio, a potpourri of tech news and reviews.
Now, I talked about EA a little bit when I said that Respawn Entertainment has signed with EA. But EA has now signed an agreement. They have signed an agreement with, not signed an agreement, they've announced a new game called Bulletstorm. I posted this on our forum over on Bawana.org forum. This is a new first-person shooter in partnership with Epic Games and this Epic Games studio, People Can Fly. And it sounds like it's going to be... I didn't see anything that really differentiated it from things that are already out. Hopefully, it will impress me. The storyline, if you look at the picture, it kind of looks like a variation of Duke Nukem, doesn't it? It looks like the picture of Duke Nukem standing on a pile of bodies shooting people. Anyway, it's like a mixture of BioShock and I don't even know what. Apparently, you can dual wield. You got powers in one hand and you got a gun in the other. So we've seen that. I don't know where they're gonna go from there. I'm just telling you guys because it's news. I'm not really excited about it. No, I'm not really excited about Bulletstorm. It just seems like a lot of the same. Hopefully, I'll be impressed. I got my expectations really low. I got them really, really low. Hopefully, they'll be up here, and I'll be happy. Yeah, Bulletstorm. Check it out. This one's over on Xboxic.com. They got the details over there. What do you guys think? You think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm wrong? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the feedback. Do you really think that I'm wrong? I don't think I am. Bulletstorm. Epic Games. People Can Fly. Check it out. Xboxic.com has the details over there. Now, I talked about the RTS genre with StarCraft and the whole big thing with StarCraft in Korea. And real-time strategy games, like I said, on the PC platform, kind of are the star right now, especially with StarCraft 2 coming out, big title. There's smaller titles like Heroes of Nerith that are very popular. And Command & Conquer 4 or 5, I don't remember, came out. One of the newest Command & Conquers came out. Supreme Commander 2. These are a whole bunch of new real-time strategy games that are fairly popular. Now, this is an opinion piece that I found very interesting because the real-time strategy genre is one of the first ones I've ever played on a PC. The very first game that I played on a PC, a real PC, was called Dune 2. Okay, this was a real-time strategy game by Westwood Studios. It birthed, that's the word, birthed the real-time strategy genre. From it came Command & Conquer and same similar titles. Dune 2, D-U-N-E 2, was one of the first ones, and I fell in love with it. It was very addictive, and then from there I went to Warcraft, I went to Starcraft, I went to Command & Conquer, Red Alert, all these different big real-time strategy games. Now, I consider myself a real-time strategy veteran, and some people consider themselves to be elitists. Some people consider themselves to be experts. And when you get a new guy coming in, and you can go to Just Not TV and watch any StarCraft stream, look at the chat, and look at all the people barking orders at the streamer saying, do this! Why are you so stupid? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing... That's what this article's talking about. He's saying that a lot of the real-time strategy games out there kind of rely on the more hardcore players. And he's kind of making a point that some of these real-time strategy games could benefit from introducing common sense principles. One example he used in this article, and I loved it, he said that when he played StarCraft 2, that he was confused that a guy with a sword was able to run up to his tank and kill him. He was like, that doesn't make sense. But then he talked about, I think it was a plasma sword or whatever. You guys know StarCraft. And he was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. It's I'm telling you, and he gives examples with Supreme Commander 2, and this prompted me to revisit Supreme Commander 2. I went through the tutorial and the demo, and I gotta say, they're really holding your hand with this game. I think they're really trying to get a new wave of real-time strategy fans. Supreme Commander is taking a lot of flack from the Total Annihilation crowd and the Supreme Commander 1 crowd because it seems like they're dumbing it down. But this article states, and this is strictly opinion by this guy, that he's introducing a lot of common sense factors. Tanks can be upgraded, and the tanks get bigger, the more power they can do, and if you go up against a lesser tank, you'll beat the lesser tank. Just common sense principles. And, in other games, you may have a really small unit that can blow up a giant ship. So, I don't know. Check this article out. Tell me what you guys think. I thought it was interesting because I'm big into the real-time strategy genre. I've seen people get really frustrated with these games, with Starcraft 2, and Heroes of Nerith, because, the learning curve is not really as steep. It's steep, but it's like it tapers off after a while. It's like it starts off really steep and then it tapers off dramatically. A lot of people can't make it up that initial curve, about that initial hard part. They just I don't have time for this. And this article saying that maybe we should introduce more opinion-based principles to kind of alleviate that so that new people can come on. Check it out. This is over on GameSetWatch.com. I thought it was very interesting. I can babble about it all day, but you guys are probably bored. I don't care. I'm going to talk about it anyway. Next story, we're going to talk about something that I posted on the forum. And a lot of people were, I don't know what the word is. Surprised, ashamed, shocked. Yeah. Apparently a guy built a multiboxing rig, and we've seen these before. People get multiple computers, install a game they're addicted to, and play like 40,000 accounts at the same time. Eve Multiboxing. Yeah. This is a MMO. You guys ever heard of Eve, right? This guy decided to build this rig, which consists of several monitors mounted on a pipe. And he's got a keyboard and mouse configuration that seems to be using some variation of chopsticks. Oh my goodness. And the thing is that in this article states, Eve will block you if you think you're using software macros to give an unfair advantage, and it seems software multiboxing is also a bannable offense. But you can use multiple PCs, each with their own controls and chopsticks. And they got pictures of the back of the thing down here at the bottom. You can see the mice. Oh, guys, this is like I said. Some people were shocked. They were ashamed. To be addicted to a game this much, to buy that much equipment for one game, says a lot. I don't know if it's a good thing, but it says a lot. Check it out. That's over on slashgear.com. They got the details, pictures, so that you can look at them and go, what in the world was this guy thinking? Check it out. Now, let's talk about something very, very cool. Something that affects me, may affect a lot of you. You guys know I'm a Netflix junkie. I don't go out and buy 10,000 machines to watch Netflix all at once, but I'm a Netflix junkie. I like my Netflix movies, especially on-demand movies. So, finally, we were promised it, and it is here. Netflix is now fully available on the Wii as of today. Yeah, Netflix is fully available on the Wii as of today. So you can go to the Netflix site, say, send me a Wii disc. Apparently it's going to require a disc, just like the PS3. Send me a Wii disc, and for absolutely free, they'll send you a disc for you to keep. You don't have to return it. You can keep it and watch Netflix on your Nintendo Wii as of today. Mine is scheduled to arrive tomorrow. So Netflix is now fully available. Now, obviously you need to have a Netflix account. So you got to be paying Netflix monthly. So I'm definitely going to be using this tomorrow. I'm going to be checking the mail tomorrow. They told me in the email today that it should be available on Wednesday. Should be getting here on Wednesday. Takes about 1 business day to get there, and that's about right because I think I requested it on Monday, and it's supposed to arrive on Wednesday. So if you guys want it before the weekend, you better do it right now. You listen to the show live, do it right now. Listen to the show tomorrow, you better do it right then. Check it out. This one's over on joystick.com. They got the details about the Nintendo Wii finally getting Netflix. It's here. Watch your movies, y'all. Now the Nintendo Wii's actually a useful device again. Because the only thing I was using it for was Wii Fit. That's the only thing I was using it for was Wii Fit. I wasn't playing Super Mario anymore. I wasn't playing Punch-Out anymore. Just Wii Fit. It was just my Wii is dusty. That's what I said before. I'll say it again. My Wii is dusty. So Netflix should shake it off the dust a little bit. And I can actually use those controls a little bit more and not the Wii the Wii Fit board. The Wii Fit board is getting a lot of use though. Check it out. Netflix, joystick, go. Now I want to show you something very, 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 very cool, and it has to do with gaming. We're still in the gaming topic. This has been all gaming so far. And it's propaganda posters. And the folks over at Valve, they had a contest a while ago where they asked the community to make propaganda posters for the Soldier and Demo release, or the Soldier and Demo patch. They had like all these different World War I, World War II style posters of, you know, getting people pumped up for each side. So when I saw this, I immediately thought about that. And they're for various arcade games, and they're propaganda posters, and they're old school games. So if you don't recognize some of these titles, don't feel bad. I thought it was really, really cool. First one's Joust. It says "Take it to the skies," and they got a picture of a knight and his ostrich with his looking proud, and they got the guys flying in the background. Over here, they got Donkey Kong. Defeat the beast, donate your quarters, and keep them jumping. These are things that you really wish you can print out and put on your wall. They got a bunch of other ones. Victory is just a few hops away. They got a picture of a frog trying to cross the street and logs and stuff. The world needs, what did I say, 9,000 jumpers. The world needs 9,000. That's Frogger, of course. And finally, my favorite, Pump to keep free. Pump. Victory begins underground. That's Dig Dug, y'all. These are great propaganda folders. Propaganda posters that you guys can save locally to your machines. I really wish I can get these. I'm looking to getting these blown up. The article may mention it. I didn't even read the article. I just saw the pictures and was like, I love these pictures. See if I can get them blown up. Maybe I can do a block poster of a couple of them and get them up here in the office. Very, very cool posters. Propaganda posters over on GameSetWatch.com. Check it out. They got the details over there.
You found Bwana.org Radio. Tech news and tech gadgets for the hardcore geek in all of us.
Now let's shift gears and talk about Apple a little bit, not a whole lot. We're going to talk about the iPad, and there's been a lot of brouhaha regarding Flash. I did a big soapbox on the live stream the other night. I'm not going to repeat it, but I was basically talking about people and how they're really pushing to basically go against Apple in this whole fiasco. And I said that I really don't like Flash. And I stand by that statement. I don't like Flash for a lot of different reasons. It has nothing to do with Adobe personally. It's based on my experiences. So a lot of people want Flash on the iPad. That's a big controversy. Like, why, Steve Jobs, won't you put Flash on the iPad? That's the only thing wrong with it. If it had Flash, I'd buy 12 for my whole family. No, you wouldn't. Anyway, for those of you who are so desperate to have Flash on the iPad, you have a solution now. Apparently, there is a solution called Ripcode, which will allow iPad to play Flash video. Now, obviously, this is probably going to require some sort of hacking or some sort of low-level software hacks or maybe even hardware hacks. I haven't looked too much into it, but the solution is there. Apparently, Ripcode, that's the name. Apparently, Ripcode will allow you to play any Flash video on your iPad. Now, I don't know if games are supported. I don't know if the if it supports a lot of the more advanced input type Flash things, like Flash chat or things like that. I don't know. But Flash video has been confirmed to work. Now, with that said, I've seen these types of things before on jailbroken iPhones where they say, oh, you can play Flash with this thing, and it doesn't work everywhere. Apparently, it barely works anywhere. I don't trust these things. And maybe you guys can investigate this for me and tell me I'm wrong. I don't trust these things. Usually there's a catch. It only works on HTML5 supported sites that so happen to be playing Joust at midnight to 3 a.m. and all the way through the midnight hour, and come back the next day and play Modern Warfare 2 with their feet. If that happens, you can watch Flash on your iPad. I don't know. Check it out. That one's over on slashgear.com. They got the details. Ripcode apparently allows Flash on your iPad. Now, speaking of Flash, this one's a little juicy. Now, I was talking about the Juju. Not Juju, not you, but the Juju. Juju. The Juju, I felt sorry for them. You guys remember me talking about them, and Gadget had a review of the Juju. It's a tablet that runs a variant of Linux, I believe, and it had a terrible UI. I was talking about how it did poorly in the demo. Apparently, Adobe's kind of like using a 10-foot pole. Like, I don't want to be near you guys. Adobe is distancing. How do you say that? They're getting far away from the folks over at Juju's. They're basically saying we don't have a good relationship with them, so we're not gonna really, stand behind this Juju. Yeah. Distancing. Yeah. I don't know if I want. I saw the demo of Flash on there. It looked decent. It looked decent. I wouldn't call it Adobe's flagship golden Flash player. I honestly think it's not performing that well. That may be why Adobe's doing this. Juju seems to be a very independent project. Ever since the whole TechCrunch fiasco, they're like the black sheep. Ugh. I don't know what to say about it. Adobe's distancing itself from Juju. Lack of direct relationship. I think it's because there may be some performance issues. Check it out. This is over on Engadget.com. They got the details over there. Now, from the oh my goodness, born as confused from all different angles department, check this out. Microsoft is outsourcing their internal IT to an Indian firm. Huh? This is a company that prides itself on enterprise OS and IT infrastructure and all these different things, and they're outsourcing their internal IT. If you don't know what internal IT is, they're going to run the email, they're going to run the servers, they're going to run all the internal application servers, all the internal applications, all the help desks, all the service level agreements between everybody. All that's being outsourced to India. This is an Indian-based firm, Infosys. I don't get it. Of all people in the world to do this, Microsoft was the very, very last shop that I would consider, that I would even think would outsource the IT to anybody. I mean, you're Microsoft. You make the OS. You make the software. Microsoft has a lot of enterprise software. They make the software, and you're outsourcing it. Oh man, that really can. I'm not upset. I'm just confused. I just didn't think they would do that. I really can't think of a logical reason why Microsoft would do that. So check it out. This is over on techflash.com. You guys may know, maybe you know something I do. It's the last company I think would do that. I mean, it's crazy. Check it out. TechFlash.com has the details over there. Now, we're going to talk about Microsoft a little bit more, and the title of this this next article kind of speaks it all. I'm not going to repeat it. You guys read it. What were they thinking? What was Microsoft thinking with these new phones? Microsoft came out with some new phones called the Kin. K-I-N. Nobody saw this coming. And apparently there are these little hockey puck looking palm pre, like somebody got a palm pre and chopped it in half. And these are targeted towards social network loving teens. I seem to have a lot of teens in my audience. Would you guys buy a Microsoft Kin? These don't run Windows Mobile software. All right. They're aimed at young people. I really think this is a spin-off. This is probably a project they did with Danger. Microsoft did buy Danger with the Sidekick. I think they did. Maybe I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure Microsoft bought Danger. Some people even commented on this article that maybe Microsoft just has too much money to burn. What do you think? I really don't understand. They're targeted towards social networks. They're very feature limited. It's basically gonna be a Twitter, Facebook only device, with probably some web browsing in it. I looked at the devices and I was like, I would never buy that. But see, I'm not in the target demographic. They already said that they're targeting teens, so I got to rely on you guys because I'm definitely no longer a teen. And from judging by the chat room, I see all no's. People would rather get Droids. They'd rather get other phones. So Microsoft, I don't know what you were thinking. But we'll be watching it. We'll be checking it out. There's a new phone in the market. Got to look at it. Can't ignore it completely. This is the Kin from Microsoft. Microsoft came up with these new phones early this week. Check it out. This one's over on BusinessInsider.com. Microsoft, what were you thinking with these new phones? Speaking of Twitter and social networking, tomorrow on JTV, Twitter is going to be streaming live a conference. This is a big developer conference called Chirp. It's such a cute name. And if you want to catch tidbits of it, go over to this page, linked on this page. This is a Chirp live page. And it's going to be hosted by Justin.tv, the same people I use for my streaming here. I also use Ustream.tv, but I also use Justin.tv. Apparently they're going to be streaming this live tomorrow. It begins at 9 a.m. They have links to all the different, if you go to that page, you can see the schedule. You can see who's going to be giving keynotes, what they're going to be talking about. They can have breakout sections and sessions and all that stuff. So Twitter's Chirp tomorrow will be streamed live on Justin.tv. Go to the page and link in the show description so you can check it out tomorrow if you're not doing anything, or if you come home. I believe all this is going to be on the West Coast, so if you're on the East Coast, you can probably catch some of it when you get home from work. Check it out. Read Write Web has the details over there. Now today, Google announced something very, very cool, a new feature for their social network, Google Buzz. And I do use Google Buzz quite a bit. I don't discuss things as much as I did on FriendFeed, but I do use it. So I was happy to see that they've come out with official buttons for Google Buzz to put on your blog. So if you have a blog or website, you want somebody to post it to Google Buzz, and you want to track the number of people who have done that, they have these snazzy new buttons, which are now going to be used by Mashable, TechCrunch, YouTube. You see these lists of sites here: Discuss, Buzzy, Shareaholic. A bunch of different people are going to utilize this technology. Very, very easy to install. I put it on Buona.tv and I put it on Buona.org. So if you visit those two blogs, you'll see, if you go to the individual post pages, you won't see it on the front page. You have to go to the individual post pages, and you'll actually see a little button that says Buzz and has a number next to it. Probably all of them are 0 because nobody's doing it. But official Google Buzz buttons have been released today by Google. Check it out. That's over on the Google blog spot. It was cross-post from the Gmail blog over there. And finally, let's go to the land of the bizarre. Say you want to control a computer and you want to have user interface with your feet. Multi-toe. No, forget the ch. It's not multi-touch, it's multi-toe. This is a floor, and you gotta watch the video to see what's going on. Now, apparently, it's a user interface that uses the sole of your shoes, your weight distribution, and other factors to detect inputs. So they showed everything from identification. A bunch of people stepped on this thing. It was like, okay, you're this person. Okay, you're that person. And it detected them from the shoe sole and the weight distribution and a bunch of other factors that I probably don't know about. And then also, they were able to type. They had a designated spot on the top of their shoe, and a virtual keyboard popped up, and they were typing. They were stomping on the ground. They were jumping up and down. And get this, guys, you're not going to believe this. They also were playing a first-person shooter with their feet. I ain't making this up. I wouldn't do that to you guys. Would I? Would I? No, I wouldn't do that to you guys. They were playing a first-person shooter with their feet. They were using certain aspects to control the fire. I mean, you got to watch the video. The video's embedded down here at the bottom. It's a YouTube video. And they show a whole bunch of stuff to some snazzy music. Multi-toe. Multi-toe. Check it out. It's over on Engadget.com. Very bizarre. I couldn't think of many practical applications for that. I can see, possibly some other applications outside of what I do. Maybe combined with something else, it'd be very useful. Especially they had head tracking with it. Basically, you would stand and you would move your head, and it would look at your weight distribution, kind of like the Wii does with the Wii board. But it was a little bit more sophisticated, and a box would follow your head around because it knew based on your feet where your head was. Kind of cool stuff. Kind of scary that you can walk into a box and it knows who you are. So it's kind of like RFD chips on your feet. Can't sneak around these. Oh, whoop, whoop. You're not authorized to be here. Whoop, whoop. Could be a new Mission Impossible movie. I don't know. Check it out. Engadget.com has the details over there. Multi-toe, multi-pass, and multi-toe. They should have put that in Fifth Element. Multi-pass. Check it out, Engadget. And that concludes episode 245, guys, of this show that I do. I don't know the name of it. Of Buona.org Radio. I want to thank everybody for coming by. We're at live.buona.tv and at just.tv/Buona, where we try to do it on time at 8:30 p.m. to 9:30, to about 9:30-ish. We go about an hour or so. We're here every Tuesday and Thursday night, Eastern Standard Time. I want to thank everybody for coming by. I also want you to check out our forum. Go to Buona.org, Buona.org/forum. Sign up for our forum. We get a lot of cool posts up there. Over 1,000 posts in just about every category. People talking about everything. Tech, funny, about the show, about games. Pretty much all the stuff that I talk about here. People with like-minded interests in tech, they go over to the Buona.org forum. Sign up. Great forum community over there. And thank you guys for coming by tonight. All right, guys, that concludes episode 245 of Buona.org Radio, and I will see you next time.